this demonstration, I will show you how to start up the Ketogenic Menu Organizer Home, create a menu, and add food to the database. We start up the Ketogenic Menu Organizer Home by double-clicking the icon on the desktop. If the screen resolution has been set too high, a message will appear suggesting to reduce the screen resolution so the application will be larger and easier to read. This, however, can be ignored and the software will run as normal in a smaller window. If this is the first time the software has been started, a window will open. Here you are required to enter the key code supplied by Keto-Cloud. The purpose of the window opening now is to provide information to the user about the software and provide an acceptance of the agreement of use. In this window we see the patient's name, the name of the person supervising the ketogenic diet, the name of the software, version and the serial number, the unit of calculation, a reset button. This button will reset the software to a different language. Currently available are Australian English, US English and UK English, Spanish and Dutch. The selected language. An end button. You can use this button to exit the software at any time. A box with the conditions of use. A tick box to accept the conditions. On the top of the page, a help button, which will start a help animation for the appropriate window, like this one. The daily ketogenic variables, and 6 tabs representing the 6 functional areas within the software. The layout is such that the most used tab is on the left and the least used tab is on the right. These tabs are Menu Choice. This is the area where we make a choice out of already calculated menus. Make Edit Menu. This is the area where we compose and calculate menus. Add Food. This is where we add the food we want to use in the menus when it is not included in the standard database. Make Food Stock. This is where we create bulk food like sauces, soups and bread. These foods will be later available as food items in Make Edit Menu. Scheduler. This is the area where we create a schedule for the menus of the week, so we can provide variety during the week. We also print a shopping list. www. This is a limited internet browser. Here you can connect to Keto-Cloud to access help files, new developments, exchange ideas, and find updated databases. When you click the Help button, while the splash screen is open, you will see the complete help animation. To start, first read the license agreement. You can view the whole agreement by scrolling up and down using the slide on the right-hand side of the license agreement box. After reading this agreement, click the tick box located below the license agreement box. Do this only if you accept the conditions. Then click on the tab representing the functional area you want to open. Menu Choice. The purpose of this window is to select a previously calculated menu for printing. To start Menu Choice, click on the Menu Choice tab. In this window, we see the patient's name, the Import Menu box, the Food Item Selection drop-down box, Weight Display box, Nutritional Information display buttons, the Caloric Value, the Equal Meals per Day selection, the Calculation bar, displayed only when sufficient food items are selected, the Ketogenic Targets, the Menu Name box, the Mealtime Selection drop-down box, the Preparation Description field, the Calculation Method Selection box, the Status display, a Delete Menu button, a Clear button. How to use this window. We are now ready to recall a menu. This can only be done if there are previously calculated menus. Click on the Menu Choice tab. First, select the mealtime in the Mealtime selection box. When we select, for example, breakfast, only the calculated breakfast will be shown in the menu selection box. Then, select the menu from the menu selection box and finally set the equal meals per day as required. Click the calculation bar. When the calculation bar is green, the menu is balanced, and you can now print the menu by clicking the Print button. If food items appear with up-down arrows next to the weight box, you can adjust the weight by clicking the up or down arrow. The adjustment can only be done while the menu can still be balanced. If menus appear in the Import menu box, you can select one of those menus. However, not all required food items might be in the database. If that is the case, you will have to enter those food items in the Add Food section, or substitute the missing food items with food items contained in the database. Make Edit menu. The purpose of this window is to compose and calculate menus. To start Make Edit menu, click on the Make Edit menu tab. In this window, we see the patient's name, the food item selection drop-down box, weight display box, nutritional information display buttons, the caloric value, the equal meals per day selection, the calculation bar, displayed only when sufficient food items are selected, the ketogenic targets, the menu name box, the mealtime selection drop-down box, the preparation description field, the calculation method selection box, the status display, a delete menu button, a Clear button. We are now ready to compose a menu. Click on Make Edit menu. I would like to make simple porridge for breakfast. The ingredients required are rolled oats, milk. We select rolled oats from the food item drop-down menu. This can be done by simply clicking on the down arrow on the food item selection box and entering the first letters of the food item name, O-A-T. The food item selection box will display the food items according to the letters entered. When the required food item appears, click on the name in the selection box. Box closes and the food item is selected. Now we select the milk from the next drop-down menu in the same manner. As we know, a ketogenic menu requires a balance of carbohydrate, protein and fat. To balance the menu, we will need food items with sufficient protein, carbohydrate and fat. The rolled oats will give us the carbohydrate we need, while the milk will give us some of the fat and protein we require, but not enough. We need more protein and fat to create a balance. To boost the level of fat, considering the other ingredients, cream would be an excellent source of fat. To boost the level of protein, cheese would be a good choice. However, some cheeses contain a considerable amount of fat. We select cream from the next food item drop-down box. The calculation bar appears in red. This indicates that the menu cannot be calculated. However, when we select cheese from the next food item box, the calculation bar turns yellow, indicating that the menu can be calculated. We select the amount of equal meals per day by clicking the 3, 4, 5 or 6 button. The daily ketogenic values will be divided by the amount of meals per day. The amount of meals per day is clearly shown on the printout. You may not mix these meals. Click on the calculation bar. The menu is now calculated. However, the value in the weight box of the milk is still 0 and has a red background, and still has the up-down arrows beside it. This indicates that the milk has not been included in the calculation. The reason for this is that the menu could be balanced by using only the oats, cream and cheese. To increase the amount of the milk, click on the weight box next to the food item selection box. The weight box turned blue, and we can simply enter the required amount and click on the calculation bar. Another way of adjusting the amount of the milk is clicking on the up-down arrows next to the weight box. When you click on the arrows, you will find that the menu is recalculated for every change in value. The aim of the calculation is not only to obtain the ketogenic balance, but also to get a mixture of ingredients, allowing us to compose a palatable meal. When the ketogenic balance has been achieved with an acceptable mix of ingredients, the menu can be saved. In some cases, you might want to add the preparation steps. This is done in the area labelled Preparation Steps. In addition, when the menu requires MCT oil, in this area we can stipulate the use of the MCT oil in a shake in combination with cream. First, we set the mealtime selection to breakfast, and we enter the name of the menu in the menu name box and click Save. If the menu name already exists, a pop-up window will appear warning you to overwrite the old menu with the same name. When calculating menus with more ingredients, you will find that only 3 items will be calculated. The other items can be set manually. The 3 calculated items will be adjusted in accordance with the change. Add food. The purpose of this window is to add food to the database. To start the Add Food window, click on the Add Food tab. In this window, we see the window's name, the new food window, the Search Database button, the External Database selection box, the Database Content box, the Nutrition Information box, a Save button, a Clear button. The ketogenic menu organizer includes a small database containing food items. This database is referred to as the internal database and should be viewed as the pantry, containing only a small amount of food items. Food items can be added to the internal database by two methods. The first method is by selection from an external database. These external databases can be acquired from Keto-Soft. Some external databases are included with the software. The second method is by entering the nutritional information as printed on the food wrapper in the Nutrition Information box. Method 1. Click on Search Database. Select sanitarium_spec.kmd. Click on the down arrow of the drop-down menu labelled "The content of file sanitarium_spec.kmd is listed below." Select Brazil nuts. Click the Save button. When the food item is saved, it will be available in the Make Edit menu, Food Item drop-down box. Method 2. Enter in the New Food box cheese Devondale Colby. Enter for sample size 100. For unit, select G.4 gram. Enter for protein 23.7. Enter for fat 32.2. Enter for carbohydrate 0.1. Click the Save button. When the food item is saved, it will be available in the Make Edit menu, Food Item drop-down box. Food stock. To start food stock, click on the Food Stock tab. The purpose of this window is to compose food items without calculating. Food items created within food stock are recognizable in the Make Edit menu Food Item Selection drop-down box by the prefix Homemade. In this window, we see the patient's name, the food item selection box, weight display box, nutritional information display buttons, the caloric value, the stock name box, the preparation description field, the status display, the print stock button, a save button, a clear button. Select almonds blanched from the food item selection drop-down box. From the next food item selection drop-down box, select soy milk. From the next food item selection drop-down box, select yeast. From the next food item selection drop-down box, select garlic. From the next food item selection drop-down box, select salt. From the next food item selection drop-down box, select oil. From the next food item selection drop-down box, select lemon. From the next food item selection drop-down box, select vinegar. Enter the weight for the almonds, 80 grams. Enter the weight for the soy milk, 50 milliliters. Enter the weight for the yeast, 5 grams. Enter the weight for the garlic, 5 grams. Enter the weight for the salt, 2 grams. Enter the weight for the oil, 125 milliliters. Enter the weight for the lemon, 10 milliliters. Enter the weight for the vinegar, 2 milliliters. Enter the instructions in the preparation steps box. Enter Armanase in the stock name box. Click on the Save button. Scheduler. The purpose of this window is to create a menu schedule for the week. To start Scheduler, click on the Scheduler tab. In this window, we see the window's name, meal time buttons, menu drop-down menus. The availability of the mealtime selection depends on the Equal Meals Per Day selection on the Make Edit menu window. Select Breakfast from the Mealtime buttons. Select a breakfast for every day of the week from the drop-down menus. Select Lunch from the Mealtime buttons. Select a lunch for every day of the week from the drop-down menus. Select Dinner from the Mealtime buttons. Select a dinner for every day of the week from the drop-down menus. To print the schedule, click the Print button. The schedule for the week is now printed. As well as a shopping list with all the ingredients required to prepare the menus for the week. www. The purpose of this window is to communicate with Keto-Soft. You can, if you have an internet connection, view the Keto-Soft website. There you have access to help files, new and updated databases. You can find background, keep up with new developments, exchange ideas, and provide Keto-Soft with feedback. To start www. Click on the www. tab. In this window, we see the window's name, an online menu sharing button, an online news button, the display window, instructions, Make sure the internet connection is active. Click on the Online News button. In the display window, the Keto-Soft News web page is displayed. Click on the Online Menu Sharing button. In the display window, the Keto-Soft Menu Sharing web page is displayed. Click on the Online Help button. In the display window, the Keto-Soft Help web page is displayed. This has been a Keto-Soft presentation, spoken by Katina Walker.